woo-woo, you know, a lot of rich time, a lot of quality rich time. We'd all know that we've been missing key components this weekend, and we now finally have them. I don't want to water down their intro by being a part of it. I'm going to stay on the fringe of this one, and Billy, I want you to make it classy. Bring him on the stage.
He's not a doctor, but he plays one on TV, Mr. Matt Cohen!
This guy, ladies and gentlemen, you forgot the right? Can we try one more time?
And he's not God, but he does play one on TV, Mr. Robert Patrick Benedict!
It's a magic number. Yeah, it is. It's a magic number. 3 is a magic number. Yeah, it is. It's a magic number. Magic number.
Thank you, gentlemen. Well Vegas, done. How the hell's Thursday and Friday been? I missed it. Tell me about it. Make some noise. Dick and the ladies, I heard, pulled it off real nice. I saw that. That was real smooth on the beat there. Dick and the ladies, real.
Let me tell you something. The second you two bail on me, I turn to the hotties for help.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It makes sense, really.
I lean on the beauties. Here's the thing. It's been a lonely, dusty road I've been walking for the last 48 hours.
And he's not just talking about his underwear.
No, hey.
Oh, hey. We're in Vegas, SimCon.
Right. Teddy needs a minute.
By a round of blood-curdling screams. Who had a good time last night? Woo! Okay, so I'm taking the first 4 rows right here. Only one of you had fun.
Yeah, let's try that again.
By a round of blood-curdling screams. Who had a good time last night? This section? All right, I get it. It was just Rich in his dusty underwear. Well, Rob and I are here, so make some noise!
Glad to have the boys back. Welcome back, boys. And I know that for those who don't know, because Matthew was gone because he's shooting a soap opera in which he's now a star, General Hospital. Well done, Matthew. Thank you. And Rob Benedict is doing a little side project, it's kind of a little indie work. I think it's awesome. He's playing God on Supernatural. I believe that's
Kind of a big deal. And you know what? I have to thank you, Rich, because all our years of playing doctor together turned into a professional role for me. That's nice.
It's so fitting that you're playing a proctologist.
It's
really worked.
The real doctoring is a little different than the shit you made me do, but
which makes the question,
What did you?
Did it help? Did it help?
Why did you do that?
Oh, you act like you weren't there playing God.
Well,
staring down on your
here's the
float.
thing. It's different when I do understand the position because when you're looking at it through the camera lens, it does feel.
Right. It's true.
It feels distant.
Yeah, harder. And holding the boom. And by boom, I mean, hey, so anyway.
Somebody just came up and said, that was tight. That was tight.
Now let me say to Rich, but I hear you've been killing it. Rich Spade. I hear you started your own religion while we were gone.
I started the High Church of the Holy Dick.
A place I've doctored at often.
And I by appointment only. I feel
Book it in advance.
I feel very blessed to have all these fresh parishioners as my people in my church.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid, guys.
Or do and enjoy yourself.
Rich,
Yeah.
with the look that you've got going on now, like, don't you feel like he needs a robe?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? A robe.
Something's
Or a
gotta happen.
shower. I need a robe. Or a shower. Or a haircut. I know this whole thing has been burnt out 70s rock persona / cult leader guy. Has been my whole bit all weekend long. And I'll be honest, it got raunchy. And I figured out, you know why I got raunchy? Were you guys here? Most of you were here Friday morning. When I went off on a bit of a tangent for about 17 minutes. And the thing is, I realized why that happened and why it also happened Thursday and this morning. Basically why it always happens is because Rob is the safety buffer. Rob is the school crossing guard. Rob's the guy going, nope, we're just...
I'm the good cop.
No, sir. Not sure we're gonna do that, Rich. We're gonna dial that back. I had nobody going, well, but do we? You know,
Yeah. He doesn't mean that.
I had nobody going behind me with the broom.
Yeah. Well,
I just left the mess.
when you were gone in New Jersey last year and I hosted, we were all singing Kumbaya.
Yeah, that's funny. When Rob hosted, I heard he got a lot nicer. And when I hosted without Rob, it got a lot dirtier. And when Matt takes over, it's just gonna be ripped. It's just gonna be hot.
Yeah.
It's ripped.
That'll be the silent show. Just me, I'll just stand here.
All you gotta do, big buddies, is be you, and they'll be like, "That was the best opening ever." Did the band play? I don't recall. I remember Matt was there, and there were lights, and he was wearing his shirt.
All right, how about some questions?
Shirt off.
Sorry,
We could be doing like a workout video.
And your question now,
All
to
right.
skip past this absolutely awkward moment, making fun of Matt Cohen and his
Oh, it's so
self-worth.
hard being beautiful.
So hard.
Leave my rock hard abs out of it.
Stop it, guys.
All right, young lady, you're on.
Hi, babes.
Hi.
Hey, babe.
Don't objectify me.
Why not?
Good point.
It is awesome to have this lovely threesome back together. Get it?
That we are.
Rich did a good job, but have Rob and Matt here.
Well, do you know why that is? Because 3
It's a magic number.
There you go.
Yeah, it is.
There you go. That's just
That's
how
the
it is.
number.
My question is primarily for Rich and Rob, but
All right,
Matt...
I'll go over here
No,
then.
no, Matt. You can jump in too. But my main question is from the conception of the Kings of Con till now, what have you learned so far from the process of bringing this to life, from the crowdfunding to writing and filming it? Like, what wisdom or knowledge have you gained from doing this?
That is a very good question.
It's a great question.
Do you want to give the real quick update? And then...
Yeah, so we haven't filmed it yet, just to throw the addendum on. Rob and I we've been talking to you around, in circles around the whole issue for a long time because we were in negotiations for a long time. And we are very, very excited that we've actually signed a deal with a very cool production entity that will be co-producing the show and distributing it for us. And we're very excited. And the reason why I'm being coy, not saying what it is they haven't announced it yet, so we can't announce it yet. But the deal is done, and we have a great home for the show. We're very excited, and we will be shooting around July, and should be launching the show out to the good people of everywhere in January. We are beyond excited about that, and I will say, it goes without saying, but it's going to be said, that none of this would be happening. No conversation would be happening without two key components. Rob and I created a show about conventions, about our experience backstage, and how quirky the actors are, and how the weird life of living in kitchens is, and all that kind of thing. And we wouldn't have had that experience but for the fact that Adam, Gary, and Stephanie have included us in this world for so many years that made it possible for us to be at conventions, and we are graciously forever in your debt for that. And the second key component is you, who are here. Who supported us? Who supported us when we were doing conventions, and then went above and beyond and supported us when we were doing the crowdfunding. And I think one of the things I learned is crowdfunding isn't just about funding. Funding is, let's generate money to pay for a project. What I thought was fantastic is, obviously, not everybody can put money into everything that comes down the pipeline. But what was great is how supportive you all were in terms of retweeting, keeping the conversation alive, keeping the idea out there for others to find who don't necessarily know who we are, but enjoyed the concept of it. And it was astonishing. I gotta be honest, Rob and I started it, and we had no idea what to expect. And the conversation that started amongst our fellow actors, Matt Cohen, Misha, Jared Jensen, everybody involved, Osric, Sebastian, everybody, that dialogue that became the creative juice of what we were designing, plus what you guys are doing for us on the other side, which was spreading the word, spreading love, and when you could, contributing and getting involved. It was amazing. It truly was an awe-inspiring re-examination of how production can work.
And while we're giving heartfelt thank yous, I think it's very important that you guys give yourself a round of applause for wait, I didn't say what you're thanking yourself for. Slow down. For a slightly less than sober Matt Cohen making a promise to these guys during karaoke night to get naked. Wow, you reached $200,000 fast, and boy oh boy, is that haunting my career now. I can't tell you, every Soap Opera Digest magazine I do an interview for, they're like, so were you really naked? And I'm like, yes. I represent ABC.
That was literally him making that up on the fly at night at karaoke in Seattle, where he was like, this is Rich, film this. I'm like, okay. And he made the promise on film, and Rob and I were like, okay. I mean, before you could think twice about it, Rob had that put up online and had sent that video out. It was in the webosphere immediately, because we didn't want you to retract it. And thank you for your support, your help.
It became real very fast. And then very fast when Rob was like, all right, here we go, do it, Matt. I was like, Rob, you gotta film and stop just...
Oh, the you running part.
Yeah, that's
fantastic. It's really happy to be part of that.
Thank you. The other thing I was say is that I would talk to you about is Rob, the writing of it. You and me working together creatively.
Yeah, I was just going to say, sort of to answer the question, like the thing that we're sort of learning right now, we've written 10 episodes, and we're in the process now. We're finishing those and turning them in, but they're basically written and done, and it's just it's so fun to imagine it. I can't wait for you guys to see it, and we've learned a lot about. I mean, the fact is, it's like that's the part that Rich and I really get a kick out of is creating this stuff, and so I think it's been good therapy for us as friends.
No, it's been great. I mean, Rob and I have collaborated on this stage a lot, but we've never collaborated in that way until this project, and it's been fantastic. Our comedic voices on paper mesh really well, and that has been really fun because we've both written a long time independently of each other. But this has been an awesome partnership, and continues to be incredibly beneficial both personally and professionally to me, and I believe to Rob as well. So the entire experience has been amazing. When you get into this business, this is kind of your dream. Like, it'd be cool to make my own show. Well, Rob and I are going to make our own show, thanks to you. And thanks to you. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Stephanie. And thank you, everybody in the Supernatural fandom, because without you, we would have nothing. So thank you very much. And thank you for the question.
Well, thank you, and we can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. You.
If you had your character's powers, what would you do first?
I'd bring myself back to the show right now. No.
Yeah, I guess I'd make a porno. I mean, it's a cat on the nose.
I mean, Rob, you got a big time answer here, pal.
I think both of them join me on the show. I don't know why
Right.
that's not happening. But also world peace.
Oh, right. No, I'd save the children.
And organic vegetables for everybody.
After the porno, I'd save the children. You.
My question is mainly for Rich, but I want all of you to weigh in on it.
I love that you're dressed as Sparkle from Just My Imagination.
So my question is actually about that episode, and obviously it was very important to the fandom at large. It's been widely regarded as one of the better episodes of the entire series.
Oh, that's nice.
And I just wanted to know what it was like going from everything you've done previously in the business to directing your first episode, and whether you guys would like to direct or maybe direct an episode of Supernatural. And I just wanted to thank you mainly for that episode.
Oh, geez.
I
Well,
love that.
no, thank you. I'll answer it quickly first, and then let these guys chime in. But going from acting to directing it's a completely different animal. And even though it's in the same under the same artistic umbrella, that opportunity was I can't put a value on how awesome that experience was for me, and how long I lobbied for it, and how much I appreciated them giving me a shot. You know, from anything in life, whatever job you have, whatever experiences you have, somebody had to let you do it first, once, whatever it was. And that's always the hardest one to get. That's always the hardest people to convince, is to convince people that you know what you're doing when you haven't done it yet. So you have nothing to show. And I will be forever in debt to Bob Singer, Phil Secretia, and Jeremy Carver, who, after a year and a half of me sending them everything I've directed, short films, commercials, and everything, finally said, I'm not sure if it was to get me to leave them alone, or they felt like I earned it. Either way, they were so gracious and so lovely, and put a level of trust in my hands that I will never be able to repay them for. So the experience, I've never worked harder in my life than directing that episode of television. And I'll say this because all three of us have done a lot of episodes of TV. And we're also very alert and attentive people who are paying attention to what everybody in the set is doing. So we feel like we have a pretty good handle on how a set functions. And what I realized is, I didn't know my A from a hole in the ground, it turns out. Until you do it, until you're in the chair making the decisions and doing all that prep and all that, you really have no concept of how much goes on that we're not privy to, because we're not there for prep, we're not there for those discussions. And it was just so intense. I mean, every decision was brought up, everything. You know, Sparkle's blood, the color of the mane, everything. I mean, everything was discussed, every detail. And Jenny Klein was so fantastic. Her script was so brilliant. She's so creative, so gifted, and this is, I'm going to say this, so it's on the Twitter sphere, and the Tumblr sphere, and everything else. Amazing writers on that show. When you write an episode and you spend that much time and that much energy and that much effort to tell a story that you've created out of thin air, I think writing is one of the hardest things you can do in any business, because you're starting with a sheet of nothing, and you have to create the whole world. And she did an unbelievable job of not only doing due diligence to the world that already existed, but creating another one that worked alongside it that was just fantastic. She did a great job. And after all that work, she was handed a first-time director, which could be a real bummer, because you would probably want Tom Wright or Bob Singer or Phil to do it, one of the veteran guys. And she immediately called me and told me how excited she was that I was directing her episode. And whether she was just lying or being honest, it was the nicest phone call I've ever gotten, because that kind of support fueled my entire process. The fact that she trusted my ability to pull off her vision was amazing. So I have mad love for that woman and mad respect for her talents. So it was great. Now, gentlemen, directing, is it in your future?
Hey, that was the quick version. I hate to hear the long form.
And the other way around. You're right, Matt. There's another point. On day 2,
Robbie, directing, please, short form.
Every once in a while, I think that would be a fun venture, but I'm not quite ready yet. I'm really still exploring acting and writing, and I leave that to people like Rich, who I think really has a gift at that. You know, then I'll happily do the others as long as I can.
Yeah. Matthew?
I'm working my way towards there. We've talked numerous times. I've directed a couple of little things and look forward to directing in the future. But my first love is certainly acting. But the creative responsibility as a director is something that I yearn to achieve one day. And I won't even dare test those waters until I'm properly ready for it. But taking notes, Rich. I'm taking notes, pal.
Take them from better, more advanced people than me.
I meant from Tom Wright.
Yeah, good, smart. Thank you for the question.
You both did an amazing job. It had such an excellent balance of heartbreaking emotion with hilarity and imagination. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, and
Thank you.
for your answer.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I know, Matt. I knew when she asked that question that my short version wouldn't be short, but what are you going to
I
do?
love how you started with that. This is the quick version.
Well, I didn't want you guys to panic, but
17 minutes later.
yeah, I know. That's all the time we
I
have.
had to wake Rob up 3 times for that.
Well, that's just right. That's true. You.
Hey, I was wondering what some of the funnier moments were while you were recording or on the set.
For Supernatural?
Yeah.
Funny moments, Robbie. Big ha-has. Where were the chuckles?
Funny moments. Gosh, there's a lot of laughs. I think there are a lot of laughs. Lots of people.
Yeah, you're not laughing.
Matt, funny moments?
No, I know what you always tell the story of. You have the hitting Jared with the plunger.
Yeah, hitting Joe with a plunger was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun and funny. Funny because I was scared, but it was like not a real plunger, but like a rubber one that really didn't hurt much. But I still was like hitting him like really lightly because he's so freaking tall and big with my butt. So I'm supposed to come around the corner and go, ah! and they're like, it was
Carver? I mean, was it Kripke?
No, Singer. Singer was directing that episode, and so he's like, "What are you doing? Hit him! You gotta hit him!" Okay. So I went off. I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "Oh God!" And Jared was like, "That got me! That really got me!" I was like, "Oh God! Oh jeez!" Like he's like, "Do it again!" I was like, "Oh no!" So I guess there was a comedy there, but the comedy was going on, I think, inside my head. To everyone else, it was like just another Tuesday or whatever. But he was like, "Oh, here you go!" I was like in my head. Having a bit of a freak out laugh fest, but
As you would.
yeah, but I don't know. I mean, you ask him about that, and he'll be like, "Huh? Who?" But yeah, that was a funny, scary moment. But we got it on film, and I survived.
That's what matters.
Matt,
Matthew?
something funny, Matt? Yes. Some ha-has, Matt.
Big laughs.
You gonna spank me right in front of all the people? Go ahead, Matt.
What about when you did Baby? Any thing?
No, there was nothing funny.
Nothing
Nothing
funny.
funny. It was very serious, and it was just very serious. And that being said, I want to applaud those boys for getting done the amount of material and the things that have gotten done. And congratulations on the pickup, by the way. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't have happened if those boys didn't focus and get their shit done on that set. And we've spent so few hours together. The few episodes I've done have been up there, in and out, and getting it done. And
That's what she said.
yeah, exactly. Way to make the Richard Spink joke from the audience. Dirty person.
You're welcome.
Was it? I can't see.
Right here.
Just wear glasses.
So yeah, but in all honesty, there's lots of laughs. I mean, being back up there, we've all recently been back up, and it's the same crew that it's been all these years. I mean, right? The majority of those guys have been there since season 1.
I know, yeah.
It's literally one of the happiest,
It's like a
fun
family.
places on earth.
There's lots of laughs. It's very comfortable.
I can't think of one effing laugh. I'm telling you, like I'm laughless over here with the moments. I just remember being so scared in my last directing the episode and getting ready to do stuff, and like the boys who are total pros, they're thrilled to have me up there, and they're thrilled to have Rob up there and Matt go back up. But it's not a play date; it's a job, and they're very dialed in on what they're doing, and so they show up ready to do their thing, and that dynamic is very interesting, and it didn't create a lot of laughs. In me, it created a lot of flop sweat. But it's always a good time. Anyway, I think we beat that dead horse. No laughs. Anyway, you.
It's my first convention, like not even Supernatural.
Oh my
just
God, me
conventions
too.
in general.
Welcome to the circus, as I
Rich,
like to
thank
say.
you for the way you introduced me to conventions.
You're welcome.
And my question is for you and Rob, I guess. How do you guys...
Before you ask your question, I want you to understand.
I'll be over here then.
It's important. It's important you understand this.
Would you like some beverages, Matt?
You've come to a supernatural convention. Every other convention you go to will consequently suck. No, not probably. This ain't normal. This ain't usual. So you've been ruined for all of their conventions, and all I can say to you is you're welcome.
What a way to go.
Yep.
So the question is, how do you guys choose the songs that you play on for the guests?
Oh, Robbie?
You know what? There is a process. We basically, we think about like either something about their character or something about them as a person, or maybe their name rhymes with something, or a song makes us think of them. So and then we figure out if we can play that or not. And then if it works, that becomes their song for a little bit until we get tired of it. And then if it doesn't work, we go, oh, that didn't work. We're gonna try something else next time. But it's a fun sort of every week. I sit down the weekend before and I look at who's gonna be there, and I map out a set list for the entire weekend, including the Saturday night show. And it's fun, but it's not easy because there's a lot to juggle around. But it's super fun. And what we're going to play in the morning, every morning, and rules and regulations, and the whole deal.
I have to interject for a second. I love how you said that we like to look at a song and see if we can play it. I don't know if you guys are paying close enough attention, but the musical genius of Loud and Swain is stupid, ridiculous.
I thought you guys said that when you said that, I'm like,
I know, that's why I said
there's nothing you guys are going to play.
It's incredible. They're like, I'm like, hey, Rob, I want to play Wu-Tang Clan song. I want to sing with it. They're like, yeah, we got it, no problem. They do it right away.
Although, hold on, I'm going to say one thing.
That Wu-Tang Clan song that goes woo-woo-woo.
The only thing that's mildly challenging for Billy, and it gives me great joy to watch him struggle with it, is country music. He can play anything up and down the deck, all these, but he has a hard time with. He goes. Yeah, I'm like, no, it's not angry. It's America. Freedom. No, that's angry. It's like, no, it's rock. Rob does all the work for the band. I have, stepped in when he's not here, which is rare, but this weekend I did that. But otherwise, literally, Rob does all the work, and the band does all the work with Rob. And I show up and I put my headphone and I'm like, what are we doing? He goes, what city are we in? Got it. Rob was doing all this work. He's like, we should open that email. Didn't get to it. What are we playing? What do we got? Gotcha. Okay, fun with that.
So, I didn't try to give me shit for this. I just mimed a mic with a mic man. I go, and then Rich goes. It's too like microphoning. It's on the nose.
Thank you for going.
Thank you.
Hi.
Please ask me something.
What was that?
No, go ahead.
My question is for Matt.
All right! Ladies and gentlemen, good night! Kidding. Go, ask it. I hope it's so great. I'm excited.
I'm a really big fan. How to Get Away with Murder?
Yeah, you are. Do you see what I'm doing here? It's so interactive to ask me questions, guys. Go ahead, ask them more. I love you! So much! God, your smile is beautiful. Go ask it.
So if your character, X911, were to be murdered, as many characters do get murdered on that show, who would do it and how?
That's heavy. I'm in prison right now in Georgia. My character's name is Levi, by the way. I'm falsely accused of 3,800 pounds of methamphetamine in my trunk. That being said, I would love for Viola Davis to make out with me to death. Because I admire her in so many ways. I think she's a fantastic actress. And everybody on that show is incredible. So I want to just.
I watched that.
I just want to make out with Viola Davis. Maybe I'll just die. That's all I need. Done. I hope that's some sort of an answer. I just want to say thank you so much for thinking about me. When you came up here and you got in this long line and you knew you were going to be tired waiting. You wanted to ask me a question. So I appreciate you far more than Robert would ever appreciate somebody who asked them a question.
I mean,
true.
I think I would do to death too, so.
If I didn't pull my calf and have a wife and a kid, I'd walk down there and kiss you right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Boy, I can count on one finger the times that happened to me, Remy. One finger wins one.
Here we go back to playing doctor again, Rich.
Hello. First of all, I'm a huge fan of all you, but I've been a Gabriel girl since his first appearance.
Atta girl.
Woo! And, you know, I'm still not over Hammer of the Gods. But I had actually kind of a serious question for all of you guys, really. You've been doing a lot to help with depression and soldiers and such with your charity programs, and as somebody who's been struggling with depression myself, I found a lot of help in that. Did you guys expect such a big following when you started these programs?
I will only say that I thought the charge was led really beautifully by Misha, who's a very exemplary, you know, if everybody who had any level of fame, either small or large, followed his model, we'd fix the planet. He's an amazing man who has an amazing heart and an amazing gift for channeling what he does into charitable organizations and creating his own organization. And he's the most philanthropic guy I know. And I think he led the charge for Jared to start his campaign. Certainly, Rob had obviously a bad experience, and we were able to make something good out of something bad by creating a charity around that. And you know, I never cease to be amazed by the generosity of the fandom. That's what it boils down to. It's kind of a responsibility, I think. We have various size audiences, you know, but we have audiences, and I think it's always good to remind people that stuff needs doing, that people need help, that problems need solving, and it can be easy to do in terms of a little bit of time or a little bit of revenue, and big things can happen with a little bit of help. And I think that we've all sort of channeled that same thing. At least that's my experience. I mean, watching what Misha did was, over the last 5-6 years, was just really amazing. And so when Rob had his stroke and we could find a way to generate some money to help raise awareness of something that we weren't aware of until it hit us in the head, you know, we turn to the best people we know, which is you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I couldn't have said that any better, Rich. That's so spot on. And you know, I'm also always just really just touched by the amount of people, like after the show on Saturday night, that will find something in a song that I'm singing about something real that I've experienced, that have experienced the same thing, and finding a common bond in finding someone else that has similar thoughts. And I think that's something that we all of us gather, being here together as a group, as a family, you know, knowing that you're not alone.
And Matt, you've been so involved in doing, I know, like, you do these inspirational tweets. I mean, you're very involved in self-empowerment, kind of on a daily basis, I would say.
Yeah, I try to stick to my #you campaign that started helping myself. But Rich said it the best. I mean, we turn to the people with a voice, and you know, it's not some of you guys may struggle with things. We also struggle with things, you know, and it's an interchangeable thing. You know, you guys help us and we help you, and it's a, you know, #famdom. I hate to get cheesy, but it is what it is. I mean, we're a giant weird ass family, so thank you guys.
Yeah. We all do it for each other at the end of the day. Well, I think the humanity, I want to just dovetail on something you said, because you said you started that you thing because it was really for you. How do you help yourself, and then maybe this will help others. I think everybody in the supernatural acting family who is involved in charity, it is so very personal for them, and that's what makes it genuine. It's never about, you know, Matt doesn't do that so Matt gets more followers. Matt does that because Matt's getting something off it, and he's hoping that maybe you will too. Rob had a stroke, so if Rob can raise awareness for other people to not have a negative experience if they have a medical emergency, then that's what he does with his time. Jared's dealt with his issues, he's put it out there. Mark has a son who deals with diabetic issues. He supports camps for kids who have those same issues. I did Band of Brothers. I fell in love with the faith and power of what it takes to defend a free nation, and I support that, or I support those people. That's all the things that we do come from a genuine sense of responsibility because we have them too. Nobody goes through life not needing help sometimes. It doesn't matter how much money they have in the bank, how much beauty they have in their face, or how much material things they have in their home. We are all built out of the same material, and the material is affected dramatically by the emotions of the real world. And everybody, every single one of us, needs something from someone sometime. We all need a hand up sometimes. So, if we can raise awareness for that, that's what we do.
And realistically, we've been put in a position to have some sort of voice and stand for something. So who the F would we be if we didn't stand up for something? Rob, Rich, all the guys, everybody involved. Like, you don't take this for granted. You have this position, you can gifted this blessed occupation as an actor. It's wonderful, director, whatever it may be. You must stand for something. There's too many situations in life where people don't stand up. We're luckily enough to have you guys, and we can stand up for you. So.
Hallelujah!
All right, last question. Let's do one more question. Let's do it. Oh, we're not going to do one more question. I literally was like this, and the line was gone.
Oh, hey. Yes? No.
Yeah.
You have a question?
Yeah.
Yes, give us one, please.
Make it be silly.
So good.
Please make
Okay,
it be silly.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Will you paint us a picture what a Sunday family dinner would be between you three guys? As God, Gabriel, and Michael.
Sure, that's
Please?
easy. Yeah.
Matt would be shirtless.
I cooked something really nice. I cooked like a roast, some mashed potatoes, green beans.
Yep.
The works.
Nice.
Matt
super proud.
Matt shows up, super proud, shirtless, but he doesn't eat meat, and so that's immediately awkward. And I'm trying to overcompensate by seeing what else I have in the kitchen. Meanwhile, no word from Gabriel.
I had a date with a girl, and it went longer than I thought, and I'm tied up, literally.
And he didn't bother to call because he's Gabriel.
So I wind up eating the roast by myself,
Bitterly.
crying in the
And I
potatoes.
eat the olives out of your fridge because you have no good vegetables.
Yeah. And then finally around 11:30, so I'm
Sweaty
Gabriel shows up.
Oh, you're still up. Did I miss dinner? My bad. Sorry, Dad.
God's super proud of you.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, I'm in a chair with one light on.
Yeah.
Gabriel,
You could call Gabriel.
a word.
The weird thing is, I probably look exactly like I look right now.
And I'm actually in God's arms in the fetal position, just sleeping. It's comfortable.
Well, here's your thing.
Still shirtless.
I would look written hard and put up wet, and you would look beautiful, and you would look needy. That pretty much sums it all up.
Either way, it'd be a great episode.
Ladies and
Thank you,
gentlemen,
guys.
thank you. Matt Norris, Rob Anderson.
See you guys.
It's a magic number. Yeah, it is. It's a magic number.